Kids, to understand how I met my psychiatrist, first, you really need to understand storms. Not so much the meteorological information, so much as how a storm affects us. In the 1600s, there was a painter named Rembrandt von Rijn who painted many famous paintings, including biblical scenes. His most famous work is based on the story of the prodigal son. A young man leaves home, wastes his money on foolishness, and returns home, much like me when I was a teenager. Anyways, another famous painting is titled Jesus on the Storm. This painting was stolen from the Gardner Museum in the 1990s, and it now hangs in my office at work. In this painting, Rembrandt portrays the story from the Gospel of Mark, where Jesus goes out in the boat with the apostles. Then a huge storm comes up. If you look closely, you can see a lot of really interesting things. First, the lighting. Rembrandt painted a very dark sky behind the boat, but a glimmer of light breaking through the clouds in the direction the boat is going. He also painted a lot of chaos in the reaction of the disciples, much like how we handle the storms in our lives. Those apostles don't know how to face the storm. In one section of the painting, you can see a group of the apostles clinging to torn sails. They're trying to fix the problem, but they're not working together, and the storm is out of even their control. In the center of the painting, there's one lad who's obviously not dealing well with this storm, and it's starting to affect him physically. If you look really close, he's vomiting from the side of the boat. There's a guy at the back of the boat who seems to be pretending to steer the boat, but it's obvious that he's not in control. It's like some of us who ignore the problems until they won't go away. There's even a few guys near Jesus who are yelling at him, trying to wake him up. How often do we become angry and put blame on someone else? There's only one little guy in the boat who's kneeling down, praying to try to make the storm go away. And then, of course, there's Jesus being woken from a deep sleep. Jesus is the only one who doesn't let the storm get to him, and it's him who calms the storm. For most of us, it's nearly impossible to have that kind of calm in the face of some of our storms, especially if those storms are out of control, like moving, starting a new job, being bullied, or even being gossiped about. In 2022, I faced all of these three storms at once, and I didn't handle them well. I wasn't calm. I was the guy vomiting, and I let it affect me physically. The thing is, though, as much as you let these storms take their toll on you and you try to fight against them, some storms are too big to face alone. One of the secrets to facing that storm isn't what's going on outside, it's what's raging inside your boat. It doesn't matter what people say, it doesn't matter what people think, why somebody's gossiping. It only matters how you react to it. Oh yeah, and remember that painting by Rembrandt? Pop quiz. How many apostles did Jesus have? 12, right? Well, look again at that painting. You'll see a 13th apostle. Rembrandt painted himself into that painting. And you know what? He's right in the center, and he's the only apostle looking out of the painting. He seems to be staring right at the viewer. He's asking, how will you handle your storm?